Okay, welcome pilgrims. Arturo Esparza from El Monte TV Channel 3 and El Monte Tonight. And we're here in beautiful Baldwin Park, California at Morgan Park and the Senior Center for a fantastic health fair put together by this young man next to me, Assemblymember Roger Hernandez. From what district again?
The 48th District of California, here in the East San Gabriel Valley primarily. From El Monte to Glendora, to the City of Industry, to the mountains of Azusa and Duarte and Bradbury, parts of Arcadia and Monrovia. Really the heart of the East San Gabriel Valley.
See that? And that was unrehearsed. Let me tell you, he knew already exactly where he's at, and that's what we love about him. So tell us, now you can look at the camera. There you go. Everybody wants to see how young this guy is and how old I am. So tell us a little bit about what prompted you to put on this health fair today.
Well, I've come to understand the circumstances of our region. We're not immune to what's happening in society, whether it's California or the nation. We've seen a rise in childhood obesity, diabetes, and all the complications that come as a result of unhealthy lifestyles. Earlier cases of stroke in childhood, young adults, heart attacks. A lot of these conditions are preventable, they're avoidable. We don't need to have the early deaths and the health consequences that many people are challenged with today if we live a healthier lifestyle. So my job as a legislator is to help protect the community. I feel it's more than just voting on proposed legislation. It's helping to bring resources to the people that elected me to serve. We have many underserved areas here in the East San Gabriel Valley, but we also have a lot of opportunities to partner with local nonprofits, local hospitals, local businesses that really want to help empower the community with resources, with information, with best practices. We have free screenings here today, an array of screenings, whether it's checking for potential stroke potential, blood pressure, body mass index. We have chiropractors here that are checking for alignment. We have health dietitians that are going to give lessons and cooking workshops on how we can better prepare our foods and healthier living there, and just all about wellness here. We have Zumba classes here today so that young people and people of all ages up in the seniorhood are able to understand that health is an exercise, good dieting, they all come together, and they come together for providing for us a better lifestyle and a healthier lifestyle so that we can enjoy our years here on this earth.
Well, you know, that's a noble cause. And let me tell you, it's ironic you say that because I was speaking to a friend of mine. She's the director of the Latino Diabetes Association, and they do set up workshops like that. And I told her, yeah, we're going to be going to a wellness fair. I guess let's call it a wellness fair as opposed to a health fair, because I didn't know you had so many things. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a stroke screening, and a lot of people don't realize that's a silent killer. A lot of people don't.
It sure is, and there's so many other silent killers like hypertension. And by the way, I'm not shy to share with folks, I'm someone who tries to watch my diet. I exercise regularly, and I suffer from hypertension. So I have to take medication for hypertension. So I know how sensitive it is for people that maybe not having the best diet or exercise, that it's critical that we get checked to know where we're at. Because if we're going to improve and prevent preventable diseases, let's find out where we stand. And no one should be embarrassed about it, uncomfortable about it. We all have organs, and we all have inside of our bodies that can get a check and analysis. And we all have loved ones that want us to be around for a while. And many of us have responsibilities for our loved ones. So it's important that we live as healthy as possible. This community is predominantly a Latino community. And unfortunately, statistics show that Latinos have a higher propensity of acquiring diabetes. As a matter of fact, they're saying that with the generation born today, 1 in every 2 Latinos will have diabetes in their life if the pattern that we've been seeing over the last decade continues. So I believe it's a responsibility of local leaders, state and federal and county leaders to come together on a policy level to provide resources, educational empowerment on wellness, so that we can curb that tide and start making California and our local communities healthier once again.
Well, that's fantastic. See, and the thing is, people don't realize, you know, as Latinos, we don't want to give up our tortillas. We don't want to give up the manteca. You throw it at my dad. That's it. Well, yeah, we saw that right there, you know. And my pops, you know, he was a Tejano, so he threw manteca on everything. Anything in that frying pan, he'd fry it all up. But the thing is that we're in a different generation now, and there's a lot more stress factors involved. that cause people to respond adversely. And I know that because my son's only 36. How old are you, Senator?
I'm actually 38.
See that? 38. And he's suffering from hypertension, which sometimes can be hereditary as well. It runs in my family, I know, because I have it. And my son just was diagnosed just recently with it. So I told him, take your meds. That's the key thing, folks. People out there, if you're prescribed medication, take them. Don't think you start feeling good and then all of a sudden, oh, well, I'm good now. You know. So what is coming up down the road for this wellness that's going on here and what you're ramrodding on this?
Well, I'll tell you, we believe that right now, this time is very critical to get folks enrolled in under Covered California, and that they're able to access the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act's whole intention is to make sure that the uninsured are insured. Those that don't have access to health care, that they do. And if they can't afford it today because they're on Medi-Cal or Medicare, they will be able to have coverage, better coverage than they've ever had. If they're at poverty level, then they won't have to pay anything. There's a lot of misnomers out there, a lot of misinformation, and that's why we have certified agents that are from Covered California. They're here to help enroll people. We wanted to make sure that this wellness fair was timed in such a way that we can help empower people in terms of their understanding about health and wellness so they live a healthier lifestyle, but also to beat that March 31st deadline. It's looming. It's about half a month away, and we want to make sure that people understand that it's imperative for them to get signed up, because there's no good reason to be uninsured and to be without health access. We have now ACA in place. California has led the nation in its implementation. We are the first state in the union to put all the enabling rules and changes and regulations in place so that we can get people on board and get people accessing health care at whatever their socioeconomic level is.
Well, you know, two comments to respond to that. You know, one thing, I have a friend in Mesa, Arizona, and she is on the onset of multiple sclerosis. And what people don't realize that every state is different, and as California, we're spoiled because we have so many people like yourself, Assemblyman, that go out of their way to make sure we get the information and that we have all these benefits and things made available to us. Now, the other response or question I need to ask you, what happens if they miss the 31st deadline?
Well, unfortunately, there's an incentive to enroll on time, and that is not getting penalized. For those that aren't enrolled by March 31st, there will be a 1% of their income penalty. So for someone that's making $30,000 a year, there's going to be a $300 penalty for them. If they're making $20,000, it'll be $200 penalty. There'll be a penalty for those not enrolled. It will be much like a driver that drives on California roads having to have insurance before they can drive a car. There was a time when insurance wasn't a requirement of all licensed drivers. It is today. And that has benefited the aggregate, the society at large, because we have motorists that are insured and we can provide coverage that is affordable to more people because it's a shared cost by the millions. We need to be able to have a system where we have participation, and that's why the penalties are there to push people towards enrollment, because when more people are paying into the system, the cost per unit, that means the cost per individual, becomes much less, and accessibility is what we need in terms of making sure that people are able to have the health care services that are critical to living a healthy lifestyle.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And I know you people, there's a lot of information out there. Please research it, go into it. You can always contact good people like the Assemblyman here, his office, and I'm sure they will provide you with referral services on where you can go and get further information involved on this. But don't wait. Don't hesitate, please. You got any final thoughts? How about a shout out to Almani?
Well, I would love to give a shout out to El Monte because that's my birthplace. That's where I spent the first 11 years of my life. That's where my parents met, fell in love, married, and conceived me. So my grandparents still live in El Monte. They're living very healthy and strong in their mid-80s, and I believe that it's a healthy living that they modeled for me, that I'm trying to exercise, but it shouldn't be one family. It should be all our families, our collective community living a healthier way, because when our communities are healthy, we're able to reach our potential. Students are in the classroom instead of at home sick, and our workforce is out there being productive, and it's stronger for our economy if our workforce is healthy. It's a better California when we're all covered and living a lifestyle that has good health practices as part of our everyday regime. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Assemblyman, and continue the good work, fight the good fight, and God bless you.
My
Okay,
pleasure.
Arturo Esparza, Almani Tonight, EMTV, Lion Vision, Channel 3, right here in beautiful Baldwin Park, California. Thank you very much.